Pule Letshwiti-Jones, who's with us in the Johannesburg studio. So, Pule, you've been speaking to the ANC today. We know that that debate and vote is going ahead next Tuesday, but there's going to be a key difference, and that is that the Integrity Commission report is likely to be out. So this is the ANC's own probe into the conduct of the president. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, well, yesterday when we listened to what the Treasurer General of the ANC, Pule Letshwiti-Jones, was saying, you got a sense that the party is still not prepared to get that report from the Integrity Committee. I mean, he says remarks such as, we'll cross the bridge when we get there, essentially saying that this is something that still has to be discussed as an organization, to say if the outcomes from the report to be handed over by the Integrity Committee are not favorable, what happens next? But today, when you're speaking to the national spokesperson of the ANC, Pule Letshwiti-Jones, he's of the view that they'll do everything they will to make sure the president is not impeached, that he's protected, and therefore, even though he has to be held accountable, that they will somewhat deal with the matter in a manner that will favor and protect the ANC, just like what we saw yesterday with the members of parliament being told to toe the line and to reject that report. Let's just take a listen to what you had to say.
The president from that responsibility which has been conferred to him by the African National Congress. That's what it means. So, Pule, you are asking us if the ANC will actively participate in removing itself from power. Let's start there. Because the end game of this is that we must, again, if we remove the president, it means we must go and elect a new president. It means we must remove ourselves from power. That's what you are saying. You are saying we must impinge ourselves. You are saying ANC, Section 89 is thing change. That's what you are saying. So I'm just saying there is no political. If we make it so easy imagine if we made it so easy for the president to be removed from positions of responsibility, what will happen? You just make it so easy. Okay. When people must stand on queues, people must canvass, campaign, do all manner of things. By the way, we have never said our president can't be held to account. And the president himself has never said that he was evading accountability. Never have we said that. The president is available. He accounts whenever he's required to.
So the ANC's Integrity Committee report is coming out when?
From what we understand, it's supposed to be the 9th, which is Friday.
Right, so that's interesting because that's then going to be out before this matter is debated. What happened? Did you get a clear answer if the Integrity Committee finds that the president has seriously erred? They can recommend that he steps aside. What actually is going to happen? Did you get any firm answers from the ANC?
Well, not quite firm, but from what we understand is that it will have to go back against the organization. They'll have to discuss it and see how they take the matter forward. And in regards to this, like I said, you got the sense that the ANC yesterday did not know what will happen if it does not go in their favor, particularly because we now see that the president has taken the Section 89 panel report on judicial review as well. So it will be quite interesting to see how that unfolds, because you're quite right to say it comes just a few days before the parliamentary session and just a few days before the National Electoral Conference as well. So the pressure is still there. He's not off the hook yet. But I just want you to get a sense of what this political analyst had to say about this Integrity Committee report as well that's expected to be released.
I wouldn't necessarily say he's off the hook, but I would say that he has been able to maneuver his way out of this particular point and this particular process. I mean, being able to get the backing of the party, I think, does show that he is in good standing somewhat. But I think the outcomes, like you said, of the Integrity Committee would be also very important. Also, given that the infamous step aside rule will be discussed going into the conference, and whether or not that will be adopted as a resolution of the party. And I think the test of the committee will be very important to say what are the measures and the tests that they will use to be able to adjudicate this matter and to determine whether or not the current president of the party is still fit to lead the party. But I think what is also important is that the president of the country is using the courts now to be able to determine whether or not he has the trust of if he'll be able to win over the trust of the citizen yet again.
Very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see what the ANC Integrity Committee finds and whether any of those reports by the Hawks Reserve Bank will actually be released before the ANC elective conference gets underway, because that again could change the picture. But you've also spoken to Pule Letshwiti of the ANC about the organisation Undoing Tax Abuse, that made a direct request of the independent directorate saying, please look at this matter. And it's all to do with this Mpumalanga land scam that has been going on for decades. A civil case is underway, but out is saying the deputy president, during his time as premier, they believe is heavily implicated. What has the ANC had to say?
Well, the ANC says that they're not aware about this. In fact, they're saying that they're still waiting from feedback from Malta in terms of their legal team having to approach them, issue out summons, and from there they'll respond. They are aware of the fact that this matter is in public. But, you know, like you said, Sally, yesterday you spoke to Arts as well, and you asked them about the timing of the reports, and they're saying, look, it's a coincidence. They've been working on this, compiling evidence to ensure that when they submit it to the relevant law enforcement agencies, they've got a strong case. And when it goes to court, there's a case. But the ANC again saying that they will wait for whatever that comes their way, and only then they will respond. But, you know, what we saw yesterday with the president having to be, protected by the NEC as well, and them showing their support behind him. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the deputy president of the ANC as well, with this whole, a complaint that will be lodged against them. But we also saw, like, when you're on social media, there's now allegations as well coming up again linked to the Treasurer General of the ANC saying that everyone in the ANC should account for what they've done before. They're linking him to allegations of the Alexandra Renewal Project as well. So you get a sense that it goes back to what many have spoken about in terms of the credibility and the integrity of the leaders within the organization as well, which is in question. But let's just take a listen to what Pule had to say about this.
Well, it has not. We have seen it out there in the press. We don't know what are the merits or demerits of this. It is not something that the party is seized with as the African National. You can imagine this. If the organization, every time there's a newspaper headline, it must now have a discussion. What will happen? Every time, no, we don't do that. We don't run the ANC on the basis of headlines. We are an organization. We have got a responsibility to provide leadership to the people of this country, to fulfill the promise we have made to them. That better life that we said we're going to deliver to them. Those houses, the water, the sanitation, education, all of that. Now, being distracted from time to time by side shows that have got nothing to do with the promise we've made to the people of this country.
So you're saying it's a distraction?
Well, now that you are asking us to answer it, you are basically saying, let us move away from the work that we are. It's a distraction. It is a distraction because it was not been brought to the party. We don't know the merits and demerits of the case itself.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there are a lot of allegations made on social media, but this is something that has been well reported on. There's even been a book written on it. But there's no criminal cases yet. So I guess the ball is in the investigating directorate's court to see what they make of all the documents that ARTA has now consolidated, to see if there is something to pursue. But yeah, I guess from an ANC point of view, it's please let us handle one crisis at a time. Thank you very much, Pule Letshwiti-Jones. And of course, earlier we heard from our reporter in Cape Town, Aisha Ismail.